It's what, July 9th now? Um, and yeah, my name is Jordan Rader, and I'm your host. So I just wanted to apologize to everyone. Scheduling has been kind of crazy. I've been beta testing two games, and school and work, and Andrew's schedule, and he's got a young son and all that type of stuff. So I just wanted to apologize for sort of the erratic nature of when posts are going up, whether it's myself and Andrew or just myself, things like that. We've had some hard times just sort of getting everything ironed out, and I'm going to keep working with Andrew to see if we can get a set time and schedule so that we can both be here and you know that type of thing. Um, Andrew has a topic that he wants to talk about, so I want to get him back to talk about that. It's very interesting, but also for me myself, it's been tough because of school and because of beta testing and all that fun stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Um, so today I have a couple exciting announcements. At least exciting to me. Hopefully they're exciting to you as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit about game remakes. Game remakes are an interesting thing. They don't happen a huge amount, and I think I have a pretty good idea of why. Anytime you've played a game, there are let me rephrase this. There are very few games that you played when you were a kid, especially if you're as old as I am. If you were around for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, those types of games. There are very few games that you can go back and play and get the same enjoyment out of now. It just doesn't happen. There are a few games that you can. Everybody has certain games that they can play forever and things like that. It's like reading a good book for me anyway. But the reason why there aren't those remakes is because when you look back on those memories, when you look back on your first MMO, when you look back at your first console game, your first computer game, unless it was a horrible game, you enjoyed it. It was your first thing. You were awed by it. Everything was brand new to you, and you don't get that anymore. So when you go back and you play that game, you're like, well, okay, these graphics are old, and I've seen all these mechanics before and stuff like that. So the game's just not as much fun, even if you loved the game originally. So the nostalgia part of it is a huge piece. So remaking games is very dangerous for a publisher or a game company because you have there's two problems. You can, one, piss off the player base who had it before, and two, you're not going to you run the risk of not getting a lot of sales because it's a remake. They don't think you did any work on it. Well, that's not true. You have to go through and overhaul the entire system so it works on a new engine effectively. So it'll work on the current gen systems. So there's still a lot of work that goes involved, even if you're not rewriting the story. Even if sometimes you might be rewriting dialogue. If it was an old Japanese import, a lot of times those translations, were really bad. So you might go back and have to redo all those translations to get better translations and things like that. You might be adding in, if you're updating the graphics, you're updating a whole new engine. You're basically building the whole thing. The only thing you have is the script and the characters and stuff like that. You have those scenes, you have everything laid out of this is what you need to have in the game, but you have to rebuild the whole thing. So so remakes are very very costly in that regard. The only thing you don't have is the wind up on the pre-design side. You don't have all that brainstorming and all that type of stuff. Um, so with that, we go to the other side. You have a very high likelihood of pissing off all the people who loved the game before. And the reason for that is they remember it with nostalgia. They remember it with rose-colored glasses. And you're going to you're going to go in and you're going to make changes and they're going to notice every single one of them. It's kind of like if you watched Transformers in the 80s and then you went and watched the new Transformers movies, you'd be like, "What the hell is this?" It just doesn't they don't make sense because you're used to it one way, you fell in love with it one way, and now it's different. So I think that the safe bet for a lot of game companies that are doing remakes, Square is a big one that does it. They reproduce their product so it can be used on new engines. They port it over to iPad. They're doing a lot of that right now. To iPad, Android, DS consoles, whatever, or Nintendo, whatever Game Boy console they're at currently. They do them um, for the big consoles as well, primarily for the PlayStation. Um, so yeah, so they're the main ones doing it. But when they do it, they don't really change anything. They just upgrade it so the system can use it, and that's it. They don't change the graphics, they don't change the music, they don't change the dialogue, they don't change anything except for what they absolutely have to change on the back end so it'll work. And the reason for that is because if they do change something, they're going to piss somebody off. It's already, for me, like I've been playing Final Fantasy VI on the PlayStation, and the controls are, just different than the Super Nintendo. And you get a different feeling from holding the controller. Not better or worse, but it's different. And when you're playing that old game, you're looking for that old feeling. And if you're using a different controller, different interface, if something's a little different, music's a little different, all those types of things, then you're going to have a different experience. And you're not going to get the experience that you were looking for playing the old game. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. But I do have a couple big announcements. One, I'm going to be updating the logo for Gaming Gold so that it is a little more universal and things like that. Um, so look forward to that in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I can sit down and get some artwork made and stuff like that. I would also like to redo the theme uh, as well, so that you know, so it's all brand new and shiny. But we'll take it one step at a time. Logo first, then we'll see about doing the theme. And my other big announcement is that I have decided to do a second show. Oh, I know. I can barely get this one out, especially on time. But this new show will be a little different. It's going to be either once a week or once every other week. I haven't quite decided. Um, and it's going to be about Final Fantasy 14. It's going to be everything. The entire show is going to be focused about that. Weekly events. I'm going to be talking about my leveling experience and the game itself and all the different mechanics. I'm going to be talking about all that type of stuff in depth every week. Changes coming to the game, patches, new raids, new bosses, new content, whatever they're introducing to the game, whatever is pertinent for the week around the game is what I'll be talking about. So look forward to that. I want to start that up when the game goes into open beta. So I'm going to work on getting art assets done for that and theme music and things like that, so that can go live hopefully the first week of open beta. If not the first week, it might be the second week. Um, it is one of the games that I'm currently beta testing. It's a huge amount of fun. I pre-ordered it for myself, my girlfriend, and her daughter. It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun beta testing it. But the game is amazing. So yeah, those are my two big announcements. I'm happy to see you guys again. Sorry that this is a little late, and hope to see you guys again next week. Have a nice day. Hello everyone. Thank you again for watching. And if you would like to follow us on your favorite social media site, we are on Facebook at facebook.com/gaminggold88, on YouTube at youtube.com/gaminggold88, and Twitter, mine is at Jordan Raider, and Andrew's is at Charles Goldwing. Thank you guys again. Have a nice day.